I understand that the majority of us have had the experience of losing control over the things that happen to us. Humans are fragile beings. It's not hard to get yourself killed, and there is great frustration, fear, and pain that comes from someone or something else having control of whether you live or die. Now, aliens have a very, very long rap sheet for kidnapping, particularly in the wild. So campers, get your boots on. We're headed back to the forest. Now, just for the sake of this argument, let us open our minds and imagine that aliens do exist. It has been estimated that thousands of people are abducted by aliens each year. We don't really know what the real number is, partly due to the fact that many of these people are returned with no recollection of what happened to them. But there are some who do remember vividly, and their accounts are quite bizarre to say the least. There was a movie released in 1993 called Fire in the Sky. This film was based on the true story of Travis Walton, an American logger who claims to have been abducted by aliens back in 1975 after going missing in the forest for 5 days. Now, the movie wasn't that great, probably because the movie wasn't all accurate. In fact, Travis Walton himself tells a much stranger tale in his book entitled Fire in the Sky, The Walton Experience. Coming out of the UK, we have a very interesting story about a close encounter in Rendlesham Forest, where several men ended up investigating strange lights in the forest, only to come across a landed UFO. John Burroughs tells the story of walking around the craft taking photos and going right up to it. Now, these people are military, Air Force guys. And in this case, there are reports of encounters with several personnel over a period of 3 nights. Now, probably the craziest story of alien encounters I have ever heard is that of Donald Shrum. So this happened back in the 60s. 3 employees of Aerojet. And if you don't know what Aerojet is, they manufacture rockets, missiles, for the US military. So, these 3 men, Vincent Alvarez, Tim Trueblood, and Donald Shrum, decided that they would take a hunting trip into the California forests, out of season. In other words, they couldn't use firearms, so they carried bows. Now, I don't know if any of you know anything about bows, but they come with a calibrated draw weight. So if you have a bow that is a 30-pound bow, when you pull back on the string, it would be the equivalent of lifting something that is 30 pounds. The higher the draw weight, the more kinetic energy and speed you give to the arrow. Donald Shrum carried a 60-pound bow. If Donald was a skilled hunter, which he probably was because of the fact that he had been hunting his whole life, then he would probably be able to send an arrow flying at over 270 feet per second, or around 185 miles per hour. The impact is enough to kill a bear, within range. As the men went deeper into the woods, they separated as it got dark. Now, Donald also carried a belt strap that he would use to secure himself up in a tree, just in case he would have to spend the night. So, of course, he found himself alone and built a couple of campfires. What happens next would change this man forever. He saw a light in the distance, in the sky. He thought it was a plane or helicopter and attempted to draw its attention. But as it got closer, he could clearly see that it was not either. The mothership, he called it. And out of that mothership came a flying saucer that landed near him. At this point, for me, it's party over. Done, through, finished, completed. I'm putting out those campfires, and I'm getting the hell out of there. But no, he thought he could hide his ass up in a tree. Those dumb aliens will never see me up in a tree. Besides, I got a bow and arrow and some matches. I'll light their alien asses on fire. And this is what this dummy thought he could do. I mean, this guy works for Aerojet. So, they find him up in the tree. Yes, 2 little alien greys found him. With very little effort, by the way. And they were accompanied by a larger robotic-like alien with red, orange, glowing eyes. They ended up giving Donald the gas and he passed out momentarily. When he came to, he shot at the robot, making sparks fly. The impact of the arrow almost knocked the thing down. But these things weren't given up that easily. He states that this standoff went on for hours. He would light objects on fire, throw it at him, they'd back up, they'd gas him some more, he'd pass out and then wake up before they could get to him. He even threw loose change at them. Change, folks. He threw quarters, nickels, and dimes and pennies at aliens. But of course they kept coming. All night long. Just like that Lionel Richie song. He's fighting aliens in the trees all night long. Damn. See, this is what happens when you don't run people. So, eventually they super gassed this guy. He passed out and woke up the next day hanging from his strap. Went back into the town fucked up. But at least his friends believed him. I'm sure they could have easily killed this man, but at least he wasn't abducted. Unfortunately for some who are abducted repeatedly throughout their lives. And the stories they tell are out of this world. Now, alien greys seem to be the culprits of the majority of these kidnappings. However, many agree that there are several alien races that abduct humans, for whatever reason. These are not benevolent beings, folks. They are sneaky, deceptive, lying monsters. They take people against their will, in places where no one else can see them being taken. They attack the abductee's body and mind, and then lie to these people about the future. This is going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. People who are claiming to have had a communication link with ETs are being told events of the near future, and those non-human entities are categorically lying to them. Extraterrestrial, extra-dimensional, aquatic, subterranean, wherever these beings are from, it doesn't matter. If they are living among us, I guess when the time comes, we'll know. And some people are going to have a lot of explaining to do.